Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, let us take a look into having clause. Well, the having clause is used to filter the groups of rows created by group by clause based on the specific conditions. Well, the having clause is similar to where clause, but it is used to filter the groups rather than individual rows. So notice the difference between having clause and where clause. The where clause is used to filter the individual rows, but the having clause is used to filter the groups. Okay, and the having clause is often used with aggregate functions such as count, sum, average, max, min to filter the results of a group by query. Okay, let us understand more about having clause with examples. So here just open the command prompt to connect to the MySQL server. So here in a search bar just type cmd and open the command prompt, and here let us type the command MySQL -u for username, let us give root as a username, -p for password, hit enter, and here let us enter the correct password and hit enter. Now we connected with MySQL server. Next let us type the command show databases to list out all the databases, and here we have company database. So let us remove this first, drop database company. Next let us create a database. For that just type the command create database followed by the database name company. Next let us use this company database by using use statement, use followed by the database name company. Perfect, now we are using company database. Next let us create an employees table and insert some sample data so that we can able to use having clause. So here let me quickly add the script. So here you can see create table statement to create the employees table with ID, first name, last name, email, salary, department columns, and here insert into statement to insert the 6 rows into employees table. Next let us enter the query, select star from employees, and here employees table contains 6 records. Now the setup is ready. Next we are good to use having clause. So basically the having clause is used to filter the groups rather than the individual rows, right? And having clause we have to use with group by clause because having clause filters the groups and we can get the groups by using group by clause. So here let us write the SQL to group the employees by department and return only those groups with more than one employee. So here just type select department. So we are going to group the employees by department. So here just give the column department and then followed by we are going to count the number of employees. For that just use count aggregate function and then pass star and give alias as employee underscore count. So this is alias name, and then from table employees. Next group by department. So this statement group the employees by department and count the number of employees for each department. But what we want is we want to group the employees by department and return only those groups with more than one employee. Okay, so here just have a having by clause and then use aggregate function count star greater than 1. So we want only those groups with more than one employee. For that this is the logic greater than 1. Okay, and this having clause is often used with aggregate functions such as count, min, max, average, sum. Okay, next execute this and notice here the result set. IT department has an employee count 3, HR department has an employee count 2, and here in a having clause we have written the logic. So this having clause basically returns only those groups with more than one employee, and HR and IT, so these two departments has the employee count more than 1. That's why these departments we got in the output, and the sales department has only one employee, that's why it is excluded. So this is how we use having by clause to filter the groups. Next, let us see how to use this having by clause with other aggregate functions such as sum, average, max, min. So let us begin with using some aggregate functions with having by clause. So here, let us write the SQL to find the departments with a total salary greater than 50,000. So here just type select followed by the column department. So we are going to group the employees by department. So here department column and then the aggregate function sum, and here we are going to calculate the total salary. So just type column name salary over here and then alias total underscore salary. Next from employees table and then group by department, having clause, and then use sum aggregate function and then pass salary column and then greater than 50,000. And if you can see the employees table data, so IT department has 3 employees and these 3 employees salary, if you add these 3 employees salary, it is more than 50,000. Okay, so that is what we will get in the output. For example, if I run the query, you can see here IT department has a total salary 65,000 and which is greater than 50,000. That is what we have specified the logic in the having clause. So this is how we use having clause with some aggregate function to find the department with a total salary greater than 50,000. Okay, perfect. Next, let us see how to use having clause with average aggregate function to find the departments with an average salary greater than 20,000. So it is almost similar. We just have to replace the sum aggregate function with average aggregate function. So here just type select department and then average aggregate function and then pass salary column name as the alias name average underscore salary and then from employees table and then group by department and then having clause average and then pass salary greater than 20,000. Okay, so this is so here is a typo. So this is the SQL statement to find the departments with an average salary greater than 20,000. Next, let us execute this query and here you can see the department IT which has the average salary greater than 20,000. Okay, so this is how we use having clause with average aggregate function to find the departments with an average greater than 20,000. Next, let us see how to use having clause with max aggregate function to find the departments where the maximum salary is greater than 20,000. Okay, so it is almost same, just we need to replace the aggregate functions. So just type select department max and then pass salary as a column name and then give highest underscore salary as alias name from employees and then group by department and then having clause and here just use the max aggregate function and then pass salary as a column name and then greater than 20,000. So this SQL query basically find the departments where the maximum salary is greater than 20,000. Okay, and hit enter and here you can see the IT department has a highest salary 25,000 which is greater than 20,000. So this is how we use having clause with max aggregate function to find the departments where the maximum salary is greater than 20,000. Similarly, let us go and let us see how to use having clause with min aggregate function. So it is almost same, just we need to replace the aggregate functions. Select department and then aggregate function name min and then pass salary column name as alias name lowest underscore salary, and then from employees, and then group by department, and then having min, and then pass salary column name, and then greater than 15,000. Okay, so this SQL statement finds the departments where the minimum salary is greater than 15,000. Hit enter, and here you can see the department IT, who has a lowest salary 20,000, which is greater than 15,000. Okay, so this is how we use having clause with min aggregate function to find the departments where minimum salary is greater than 15,000. Alright, so this is all about using having clause with group by clause and aggregate functions. Alright, great. I will see you in the next lecture.